on this committee and throughout the county. We ask this in your name as we pray. And we all say, Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, you may be seated. All right, good morning, Policy Council. Mr. Attorney, I almost said Madam Attorney, because that's what, that's what I'm used to. But now it's Mr. Attorney.
Good morning.
Good morning. Can we, should I move into reasonable opportunity at this time?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and open up reasonable opportunity for the public to be heard. When I call your name, please state the item you're speaking on, your name and address, and you will have 2 minutes to speak. Let me see. Yeah. All right. Mayelin Monet, William Coro, Samantha Garcia, Nicholas Rodriguez, Miguel de Grande, and Wesley Coro. You're here? Okay, do you want to speak, or you're just waving in support or in opposition, or? You like to speak? Come on up.
Samantha Garcia, 4440 West 82nd Way, Davie, Florida. Thank you for your time this morning. Again, I'm Samantha Garcia, Luis Prieto, Administrative Assistant. Luis Prieto is the owner of Coastline Trucking, DVA Double Light Transfer, founded in 2002, employing 40 professional drivers, providing transportation needs in the waste industry. We have 9 acres in zip code 33018, 6 acres together and 3 acres nearby. We purchased these parcels over time to develop into truck parking due to the need in the county and our business. Not fully understanding the requirements, this has negatively impacted our financials with citations from the county. This amendment to the CDMP will allow us to apply for the proper permit to have adequate truck parking for our business. This will allow us to comply with necessary permits and certificate of use required by the local authorities. With a certificate of use, we will be able to develop the truck parking yard for our company and other independent truck drivers who reside in Dade County. As we develop our company in Dade County, this will enable us to continue to grow, providing transportation services, employing more residents of Dade County, and comply with all county regulations. We appreciate your consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead and start. Name and address.
Good morning. My name is Mayelin Monet, 17455 West Okeechobee Road. Honorable Chairman Anthony Rodriguez and members, Boards of Commissioners. Today, representing small businesses, we ask you to support this resolution not only as an administrative act, but as an act of justice for the many workers and small business owners who quietly sustain the economic engine of our county. By allowing greater flexibility in the minimum acreage requirement for commercial vehicle storage in areas where this use is already authorized. This measure does not seek to expand industrial areas or open new areas for this type of activity. What it seeks is something much simpler and more reasonable. To allow small business that already operate in these places to comply with the ordinance without unnecessary burdens that affect their growth and economic stability. What we are looking for with this resolution is a realistic opportunity to comply with the law. This flexibility will allow existing properties to adapt, improve their conditions, and operate in an orderly and responsible manner. What we propose is a bridge between regulation and real life, between planning and the other who depends on it to work with dignity. Do not allow the injustices that have been occurring to continue, where big companies continue to crush small businesses. That is why we ask you to vote in favor, because to support this resolution is to support our people, our small businesses, and our families. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Sir.
Wesley Coro, 17455 West Okeechobee Road. It's on the same topic as she was speaking on. For nearly 5 years, we have worked to secure a necessary change to the variant and to reduce the minimum acreage requirement from 10 acres. This is not a request for special treatment. It is a request to correct a policy that unintentionally restricts small businesses while giving large corporations a clear advantage. During this process, we've received offers from major entities that already operate truck parking lots. Their sole intention, if they purchased our land, would be to continue using it exactly as we are requesting to use it today. The only difference is that they meet the 10-acre threshold while we do not. They can operate freely on the land we've cared for, yet we are denied the same right because of a technical requirement that does not reflect actual land use or community impact. What makes this even more difficult to understand is that we are directly neighbored by a large industrial manufacturing plant, yet we are forced to remain within strict agricultural zoning limits. Our surroundings, our industrial, our intended use is consistent with the area, and still the policy ties our hands. This contradiction reveals a policy that favors size, not fairness. Corporations, not community-based businesses. Small businesses are the backbone of this county, and we deserve a path to grow responsibly and compete on equal footing. Lowering the acreage requirement and approving this variant change would restore that fairness. We've waited a long time for this correction. We believe in this community, and we hope the county will show it believes in its small businesses as well. Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the committee. Nicholas Rodriguez from the law firm Burkow, Riddell, Fernandez, Larkin, and Tapanez, 200 South Biscayne Boulevard. I'm here representing 12351 Holdings and Ace Truck Parking, the owners of more than 144 acres, currently in the development pipeline within the Northwest Truck Parking Area and Open Land Sub-Area 1. Our clients have acquired land, negotiated long-term land leases, and developed site plans, investing tens of millions of dollars based on the regulatory framework that's in place now. That framework was the product of extensive and thorough review in which it was understood that the appropriate balance between regulatory efficiency and business needs was struck. It was always fully understood at that time that a small number of illegal truck parking operations would not be viable under the new rules. These sites are simply too small and constrained to meet the operational and economic requirements. They don't have enough setbacks, circulation, and drainage, and their business models depend on packing as many trucks as possible into undersized parcels in such ways that are unsafe, unapprovable by fire, unapprovable by other county agencies, and which they simply do not understand that they will run into an impossible problem when they get into permitting. Yet today, less than 5 years after those original CDMP amendments were adopted, this is the second or possibly third time that these owners are asking the county to create a staff-led application. That is a free of charge application to give them a path towards legalization. In effect, they're asking this county to subsidize their ongoing illegal operations at the expense of the other landowners that have acquired land in accordance with their current rules. The last time a similar item was presented to this body, it was laid on the table indefinitely, and we respectfully request that this item be similarly laid on the table. Although there is a different means to the same end of undermining the acreage requirement, really what we're doing here is just undermining the 2020 policy objectives that were put into place after careful and thoughtful review. We thank you for your time and consideration.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Miguel DeGrande. My address is 701 Brickell Avenue, and I'm here on behalf of White Rock Quarries on item 2A regarding truck parking facilities. Now, respectfully, this item seems to be a solution searching for a problem. But that problem was already addressed in 2020 when the Planning Advisory Board recommended a minimum of 20 acres, and ultimately, as a compromise, in October of 2020, the Commission amended the master plan to allow for commercial storage of these vehicles on contiguous property of 10 acres or more. Now this item seeks to again lower the standards in areas that are critical and environmentally sensitive. But there has been no study. There is no field survey. There is no evaluation of need, no data to justify this change. And so the question that begs is, where is the objective, factual, and studied evidence of need to justify this change? Respectfully, it's not here because since the passage of the 2020 CDMP amendment, parking capacity has continued to increase despite the delays in permitting, et cetera, that were caused by the COVID pandemic. There's a parking facility fully compliant with the CDMP that recently opened in the south of the county with a capacity of 1,500 trucks. There's another property in the north of the county, which is owned by my client, that is already in the permitting pipeline and will have capacity for 1,800 trucks. It's my understanding that the biggest existing facility in the north is still almost 20% vacant. And we do not know what other facilities may be in the pipeline because, again, no studies have been done, no data is before you. So I respectfully urge you not to proceed with this item and let the process that was implemented 5 years ago and is working take its course. Thank you.
Thank you. I think Samantha Garcia spoke, right? Samantha, thank you. And then William Coro is the last one I have. No? Okay. All right. With that, reasonable opportunity for the public to be heard is just going to the bathroom or?
You, William Coro?
Ah.
¿Necesita traductor? He needs a translator.
He's a translator? Okay. Do we have a translator in the? The translator will wake up shortly. The fast walk, guys, the fast walk. Yep, that would be to the interpreter.
Empieza con el nombre y la dirección.
Tu nombre, apellido, dirección.
Empieza con el nombre, la dirección y entonces va traduciendo y tú sigues hablando.
Sí, buenos días. Mi nombre es William Coro, 174-55 West Okeechobee Road.
My name is William Coro, 17554 Okeechobee Road.
Estoy aquí frente a ustedes hoy para hablar sobre los pequeños negocios y las grandes compañías que tenemos a los alrededores.
I'm here today in front of you to speak about small businesses and the big companies we have around us.
Como ustedes pueden ver oído, los que hablaron anterior y los que hablaron de última hora.
As you can see today, those who spoke before and those who spoke at the last moment,
Los últimos que hablaron siguen en contra de que los pequeños negocios puedan surgir en esa zona donde estamos todos rodeados por los grandes negocios.
the latter who spoke are still against small businesses being able to operate around them.
Y siempre lo van a estar.
They are always going to be that way.
Por eso estamos aquí hoy para que ustedes
That's why we are here today, so that you
apoyen la resolución que están planteando
support the resolution you're putting forth
para que nos den la oportunidad como pequeños negocios a también tener derecho
to give us the opportunity as small businesses to also have the rights
y que no permitan que las grandes compañías sigan creciendo y aplastando a todos los que estamos por debajo de ellas.
and so that you prevent big companies from keeping on growing and quashing the others around them.
Al final ellos lo que van a hacer es los mismos negocios que actualmente tienen, parqueos de camiones, industria, explotación de canteras.
What they're going to do at the end is the same businesses that they already have, truck parkings, industries, and so forth.
Y en todo este tiempo es la segunda vez que estoy aquí presente al comité
This is the second time I'm here in front of this committee
para pedirles que nos den la oportunidad, porque si depende de ellos nunca la vamos a tener.
to ask you to give us that opportunity, because if it depends on them, we are never going to have it.
Muchas gracias por su atención.
Thank you very much for your attention.
Muchas gracias. Thank you. All right. With that, now reasonable opportunity is officially closed. And Mr. Attorney, can we set the agenda at this time?
Yes, sir. I just have a couple of preliminary matters to announce. We have the additions of 1G1 and 1G2 supplements,
Okay.
as well as the withdrawal of item 1G2 and its supplements. And then there is a scrivener's error with respect to item 1G3. At the end of section 1 on page 4 of the ordinance, the renumbering needs to be corrected. And with that, Mr. Chair, you can set the agenda.
Commissioner Cohen-Higgins moves to set the agenda, seconded by Senator Garcia. All in favor of setting the agenda signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Show the agenda hereby set. Mr. Attorney, let's go ahead and read the first item, 1G1, and its supplement.
Yes, item 1G1 is an ordinance relating to the Dr. Antonio Jorge Social and Economic Development Council, creating section 2-1446 of the Code of Miami-Dade County, amending section 2-1446-2 through 2-1460 of the code, establishing a social and economic development council trust fund, providing severability, inclusion in the code, and effective date. This is item 1G1 and its supplement, and this is a public hearing.
All right, public hearing is now open. I have no public speakers signed up to speak. Therefore, public hearing is now closed. Do I have a motion by the sponsor?
So moved.
It's been moved by Commissioner Orbis, seconded by Commissioner Bastien. Clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Cohen-Higgins,
Four.
Senator Garcia, Commissioner Milian Orbis, Vice Chairwoman Bastian, Chairman Rodriguez.
I vote yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right. Mr. Attorney, let's take up item 1G3.
Yes, this is an ordinance relating to the Office of Intergovernmental Affairs, amending Article 118 of the Code of Miami-Dade County, Florida, providing that the Office of Intergovernmental Affairs shall be responsible for implementing as Miami-Dade County policy annual Washington, D.C. fly-ins, as well as facilitating, coordinating, and funding same, making technical and conforming changes, and providing severability, inclusion in the code, and effective date. Item 1G3, this is a public hearing.
Public hearing is now opened. I have no public speakers registered to speak on this item, so public hearing is now closed. Do I have a motion?
Motion. Second.
It's been moved by Commissioner Orbis, seconded by Commissioner Cohen-Higgins. Seeing no discussion, clerk, please call the roll.
Senator Garcia, Commissioner Milian Orbis, Commissioner Cohen-Higgins,
Four.
Vice Chairwoman Bastian, Chairman Rodriguez.
I vote yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, Mr. Attorney, let's take item 1G4.
Item 1G4, ordinance relating to the Office of Intergovernmental Affairs, amending Article 118 of the Code of Miami-Dade County, Florida, providing that the Office of Intergovernmental Affairs shall be responsible for administration and operation of the Miami-Dade County Youth Engagement Program, a legislative internship program for placement of students in unpaid internships with the Miami-Dade Board of County Commissioners, making technical and conforming changes, providing severability, inclusion in the code, and effective date. Item 1G4, public hearing.
All right, public hearing is now open. I have no public speakers registered to speak on this item. Public hearing is now closed. Do I have a motion?
it.
It's been moved
Second.
by Commissioner Cohen-Higgins, seconded by Commissioner Orbis. Seeing no discussion, clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Milian Orbis, Commissioner Cohen-Higgins,
Four.
Senator Garcia, Vice Chairwoman Bastian, Chairman Rodriguez.
I vote yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, Mr. Attorney, can we take up item 2B?
Yes, item 2B is a resolution establishing county policy that printed copies of the final adopted budget book be provided to each county commissioner later than 30 days after the county's budget adoption, directing the county mayor designee to provide an annual report. Item 2B.
All right, I have, well, this is not a public hearing. So, Garcia, would you like to make a motion on this item?
Second.
All right, it's been moved. It's been seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Show the item passed. All right, Mr. Attorney, 2C.
2C is a resolution authorizing and directing the county mayor or designee to negotiate, execute, and administer agreements with each of the 5 independent constitutional offices and applicable collective bargaining agents to extend by 1 additional year the 1-year crosswalk provisions contained in the current interlocal agreements between the county and each of the constitutional offices. Item 2C.
Move it.
Commissioner Orbis, would you
Second.
like to move your, okay. No, just because you're the sponsor, so.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
But it's been moved by Commissioner Orbis, seconded by Commissioner Cohen-Higgins. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. All right, show the item passed. All right, Mr. Attorney, can you take up item 2A?
Yes, this is a resolution directing the county mayor designee to file an application to amend the comprehensive development master plan to allow additional flexibility in satisfying the minimum acreage requirement for commercial vehicle storage in authorized locations. Item 2A.
All right, Senator Garcia, Would you like to be recognized?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just want to clarify for the record that this is not doing anything to change the minimum acreage required. It's just changing some of the rules on how you can make these, the rules along how you identify what acreage or what lands can be together. So this is what that's doing. We're still saying we're still keeping the 10 acreage. But, Mr. Chairman, there is an amendment that's going to be offered. If we can offer the amendment now to put it in the proper posture, and then we'll go from there.
Now would be the time.
Senator Garcia moves to amend item 2A to require that the CDMP application filed by the county mayor's administration also include authorization for additional commercial vehicle storage in appropriate locations in western Miami-Dade County within a half mile of Chrome Avenue between Kindle Drive and Southwest 184th Street. Such CDMP application shall be filed no later than 90 days after the resolution's effective date. In addition, the county mayor's administration shall be directed to conduct an evaluation of all vacant county-owned properties across Miami-Dade County and identify which properties may be suitable for commercial vehicle storage and provide a report with recommendations. The report shall list all vacant county-owned properties throughout both the unincorporated and incorporated areas of the county by commission district, along with the current CDMP land use designation and zoning district for each property, and indicate any changes that may be needed to such land use designation and zoning to facilitate commercial vehicle storage. In recommending which properties may be suitable for commercial vehicle storage, the report shall address, among other considerations, the proximity of each property to major roadways or highways, compatibility with nearby land uses, any environmental considerations, and any impediments to the use of such property for commercial vehicle storage. The county mayor's administration shall provide the aforementioned report to this board within 90 days of the effective date of this resolution, and shall place the completed report on agenda of the full board without committee review pursuant to Rule 5.06J of this board's rules of procedure. The above referenced amendment shall be added to Section 2 of Item 2A, which shall be divided into subparts for sake of readability and organization. Lastly, this item shall be further amendment to add a new Section 3 directing the county mayor or designee to cease enforcement of the CDMP and code against any property owner for commercial vehicle storage violations that would be legalized through A, the CDMP application directed by this item, and or B, any related code changes. Enforcement against such property shall be suspended upon this item becoming effective and shall last for a period of 1 year, provided, however, that this directive shall not require the cessation of enforcement against other violations, including but not limited to environmental violations that would not be legalized as a result of this CDMP application or code change. The county attorney's office is also directed to seek a stay of any civil action to collect on the civil penalties or to foreclose a lien where the civil action relates in whole or in part to such commercial vehicle storage violations for a period of 1 year. And that is the proposed amendments.
All right, so you move your item as amended?
Yes, sir.
All right. Seconded by Commissioner Cohen-Higgins? And then we'll go in discussion, of course.
I'm happy to second it for discussion, Mr. Chair.
Okay, and you, with that, you could be, I'm gonna have probably a couple questions, but you're recognized for discussion.
Actually, before, Mr. Chairman, if I may,
Of course, it's your item.
I have a quick question. When was this placed on the agenda? When was this made public? Do you guys know? Does anyone know?
Last week.
A week ago?
Of course.
Okay, thank you. So it's a week ago. Can I please call up the two attorneys that spoke, Mr. Nicholas Rodriguez and Mr. Miguel de Grande? Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Nicholas Rodriguez, thank you so much for your testimony and for your, speaking up for your clients. Have you reached out to my office to have a conversation about this item?
No, not yet. We just learned about it on Friday.
Okay. So you're telling me that this has been out for a week. You get up here, you testify against it, and you haven't reached out to our office. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Mr. Miguel de Grande, with all due respect, like you started off together, I have a great deal of respect for you. We have a long-term friendship.
Yes, sir.
Have you reached out to my office to talk about this item?
The item on the agenda or the last-minute amendment?
No, the item on the agenda.
No, sir, I have not.
Okay. I have spoken to Kerry Barsh, so that gives you a little leeway on that. But
He represents the same client.
I know, but you and I have not spoken, so this is why I'm telling you, Mr. Chairman, thank you, gentlemen, very much for that. Mr. Chairman, this is, you know what this amendment does, this item does, and the reason I bring that up is because this item has been out there for a week. And I'm sure some of you have been spoken to. No one has spoken to the sponsor of the item. Granted, some folks may say, they haven't called me. We're the policymakers. We have the right to put whatever policies we want before the board, have a conversation, and at that point, when we put a policy before us, I think it's imperative that the lobbying corps reach out to us, have a conversation, because prior to this meeting, we could have maybe resolved something. And after this meeting, hopefully this passes, and I'll still have conversations with folks, and because I've always had an open door policy. So, Mr. Chairman, with that, I'll tell you what this item does and what it doesn't do. What we're trying to do, we looked at the 2010 study was brought up in some conversation here and testimony. And in that study, it said that they needed at least another 12,000 parking spaces for these trucks. So this is why this item is coming before us, to try to see if we can help the smaller businesses, because you got the big guys and you have the smaller guys. Granted, the smaller guys have had some code violations on their properties, and I think it's important, imperative. I'm not trying to limit the code violations that they have. I want to make sure that they fix their violations, but I want to make sure that they still can continue to operate, and this is why I think giving some flexibility, allowing CDMP to determine the rules, the definitions of what proximity may mean with a CDMP amendment, and also allowing for smaller acreage to be within the same LLC or company or corporation, so they can meet the 10 acreage minimum requirements. So that's what the amendment does, to try to help, especially some of our businesses, and also help the truckers to find parking in our community, which is becoming more and more difficult every day. That's it, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator. And look, there's a reason that this item is in Policy Council. I think it's a good item. But I do want to clarify, and I love your amendment. I was trying to digest it as it is, the first time I'm seeing it this morning. But I like when I see competition. Now I realize, and I've gotten calls throughout the weekend from last week, Wednesday, since last week, Wednesday, up until last night. So I have received calls and many folks expressing much concern with some of this, and I see some of it. I really do. But the largest concern, in fact, the exclusive concern that has been brought up to me over and over and over with this, I'd like to clarify, because I did hear some people speaking as well, and I think it's out of context. Is the director here? I think I saw her walk in. Lourdes.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lourdes. I know, bright and early. After our Basel. Hope you Baseled. No, look, I wanted to understand, does this item recommend reducing the total 10-acre requirement for truck parking?
No, it does not.
It does not recommend that. And this item still has to come back to the board as a CDMP application or whatnot, and we get a second bite at the apple as to what the department recommends.
Yes.
Okay, all right. That's the question I had, because I know that several people came up and said, thank you, Lourdes. Several people came up and said that this reduces the acreage, this reduces the acreage, this reduces the acreage. It does not reduce the total acreage. And I don't read it that way, and now you've also hear the department director saying it does not do that. It does provide some flexibility, but it does not reduce the total acreage. With that, Commissioner Cohen-Higgins, you're recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you, Senator Garcia, for bringing the item. Truck parking is always a hot topic for a number of different reasons, and I don't think that this one particularly falls into the hot topics that we typically see when it comes to truck parking. Otherwise, we would have a room full of people here. But to be frank with you, I'm not understanding what the amendment does. If it doesn't reduce the 10 acres, I need like a fact pattern specifically on what it is that this amendment would allow for that our code currently does not permit. I understand that our code requires the 10 acres to be contiguous and or with some sort of a division that is not to exceed 660 feet. Are you simply removing the 660 feet? I'm not understanding what the amendment does. What is the actual flexibility that we are putting into the CDMP, and what are we allowing that we currently do not allow?
Okay, there's actually within the bill, the ordinance itself, there's.
Senator, if I could just jump in for 1 second.
Sure.
Sorry. You're gonna answer because it's your item.
No, it's perfectly fine.
I want to know the same question, but from your intent, because I believe that this item directs the department to bring us back their suggested. So I don't know that the item changes anything. It just directs the administration to come back with their CDMP application of their recommendation. But it's important, the question's still important because I want to know like what the intent is with it.
No, but that's exactly it. It directs the department to come back with their recommendations on the flexibility that can be encountered. And one of the things that you have the 650 feet to make it contiguous, but my intent is to see if there could be some flexibility with the addition of other acreages that can meet the 10 acreage minimum, falling under one LLC, one corporation, or so forth. So it really is asking CDMP to come back with some rules and guidance on how we move forward, especially when you have the term certain distance requirements. So that's what we're trying to do.
And thank you for that explanation. And, it's interesting because I'm going to support the item today, and then I may want to do a sunshine with you between now and final hearing, just because there are so many issues in my district, in the Redland, particularly with truck parking. And so if the administration is going to bring back recommendations regarding allowing for flexibility, I would want to know and have some sort of a discussion with you about what exactly the details of those flexibility recommendations are going to entail, just to make sure that it's not entirely disruptive of the 2020 ordinance that we worked so very, very hard to pass. And it's my understanding that this item is being proposed to presumably fix a problem that these amazing people are here addressing, saying that their small businesses want to thrive, which of course we want to support. But this is really lacking in specifics, but you're saying intentionally so. You're saying this item is saying to the administration and to our director, bring us what that flexibility looks like, and then we'll sign off on it presumably at the appropriate time. Is that accurate to the attorneys?
Commissioner, yes, there is the flexibility for the administration to do a workup with its professional expertise and to bring it back. Of course, it's up to this board at the end of the day of any adjustments that you may wish to make in what an application ultimately looks like. But as the senator explained, there is the flexibility for the administration to put forth a recommendation in the form of the application.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for answering my questions.
Commissioner Bastian.
Thank you, Chair Rodriguez. I too, Senator, was a bit concerned about the item. I thank you for bringing it up. In my district, I've had a lot of problems, tons of problems with truck parking. It's a big issue for us in district too. So when I saw the item, of course, I was concerned. I'm a little bit. I feel better now that this item will come back. And I'll be interested in partaking in any sunshine meeting that will be held, because I think it's extremely important. Truck parking is important for our economy. I mean, I understand it's not easy, but we have to also protect our urban core. And then, like I said, in my district, it's been a real problem, a real issue. So I'm looking forward to partaking in this sunshine meeting, and then looking forward to what it will look like when it gets back. Thank you.
All right, I have a motion, I have a second, as amended. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
All opposed, nay. Show the item passed.
If I may, Mr. Chairman?
I mean,
The item
let's pass
passed.
the
Just wanna
item.
say, absolutely, we will do a sunshine meeting. We'll have more than happy to sit down and have a conversation. At the end of the day, our whole goal is to try to help small businesses, especially with what we know is coming, and to satisfy the 12,000 requirement for cars. So thank you, Mr. Chairman, for letting me put that in there at the end.
All right, Senator. All right, with that, Cohen-Higgins.
Item 6A, the minutes.
Oh, moves 6A, that's what I was going to say. Cohen-Higgins moves 6A. Seconded by Commissioner Orbis. All in favor signify by saying aye. All opposed, nay. Commissioner Bastian, you're recognized.
I just wanted to thank you for, bringing me back to this committee.
Oh, of course.
Wait for a year. Glad to
Welcome.
be back. Thank you.
Welcome.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, with that, show us adjourned by Commissioner Cohen-Higgins.
One day and I took millions and millions of photographs of every single corner of Crandon Park Golf Course. Then, based on those photographs, I created around 90 or 100 paintings, individual paintings on canvas. Those paintings were scanned, and each scanned image was then transferred onto a glass tile through a process that is called sublimation, where an image is heated up to a point that the ink goes through the glass tile and the image rests inside the glass tile. Doing projects for art in public places is an amazing opportunity for artists. It's a kind of validation. The fact that the county is commissioning